Hello everyone, welcome to One Piece chapter 1118, Being Free. Now the chapter begins with Yamato actually finally leaving the Flora capital. It's been 8 volumes now, and she's actually leaving the Flora capital, visiting one, so yeah, she's actually doing something now. But onto the actual chapter, we have um Marines panicking as the Iron Giant is falling into the sea. And I thought he'd actually do something more based on last chapter, but now it looks like he's actually down, and that's all he's gonna do. Probably he'll do something next chapter based on what happens in the this chapter, but I highly doubt it. But at least he's kind of getting rid of some of the stress by falling into the ocean, so he's kind of helping out, kind of. And you have Vegapunk, like one last part of Vegapunk's message, because he's the Iron Giant is falling into the sea, and he was damaged, not really damaged, but the ended Mushi was damaged last chapter, and so the message kind of cut out. I know it's kind of coming on out like and saying, and their name was no, I have no idea what he's talking about here. Wait, it could be the name of the ancient kingdom, like, and their name was it has to be related to the decline. So last chapter I said among you there is and their name was, so among you there is a dash and their name was, unless he said more things between that and what he's saying now, but could be a traitor, could be name of the ancient kingdom, though that's highly Vegapunk supposed to know the name of the ancient kingdom because O'Hara knew it, and he had access to some of the information that they had, so probably it's name of the ancient kingdom actually, but who knows. We'll have to wait until later to get any of that information. And Iron Giant is wondering where Joy Boy is, because it looks like the drums of liberation were what actually powered the Iron Giant, and so he thought Joy Boy was there, and he wanted to see Joy Boy again, but he's out of luck. Anyways, I'm moving on to Walkery, looking down at the Marines are looking up at Walkery, and they have no idea that this is who they're working for. Because most of the Marine fathers are pretty ignorant of how the government is actually run. We have more reactions from around the world. So I have people in Alabasta wondering what happened to the message, or why it's cut off, what could cause the broadcast termination. And now that the message is over, they're wondering, wait a minute, what actually killed Vegapunk? Because they're so engrossed by the message, they didn't really have time to think about that. And some of the people here, because this is probably what's going to cause a bit of discourse among the people in world. And they're saying that some of the people think Luffy actually, Luffy was the person who, like, some people suggested that the government, or actually wondering if the government would kill him because of his sins of doing this research, and because he said he committed grave sins by doing this. So some people wonder if the government took him out, but other people are saying he was the world's smartest man, and the government wouldn't just take him out because he committed a few crimes. And so some people saying Luffy was theirs, and if they forgot news from yesterday, so it's obvious Straw Hat who killed Vegapunk and was stopping the message. Most people aren't buying this. I think it's kind of funny how Leah was saying, so it was Luffy, and I like the look on Rebecca's face, and Leah was saying that. And we have Yark here now. Next panel, who was access to the other Vegapunk, so she like a life signal basically of who's alive, and she's being asked by the elders, how many Vegapunks are left alive other than her, and she says two, and that's we have Lilith and Atlas. And I think this confirms that Pythagoras is actually dead. Wait, is it Pythagoras or is it? Wait, you know what? You know the other Vega thing. I think this confirmed that he's actually dead because some people speculated that he was still alive and that he'd make it off the island. So, but it look like we're gonna have either one or two Vegafunks actually leaving the island with us. So probably Lilith and Atlas are gonna join the. I think they're gonna join the crew permanently. Like they're gonna join the ship to Elbaf, and they're gonna. I think they're gonna study the information that's on Elbaf. Um. Anyways, moving on. So Vegapunk's brain is gonna continue to grow. It's self-sustaining. If Vegapunk dies, then it's still there. Like all the information is still there. So York still has access to all that information, and so that's win for the world government because they need that information to power the ancient weapons, and they want to get rid of the other Vegapunk and that's Lucien. They could have information that they don't want people to know, so they're gonna get rid of them. So you have the other Vegapunks who have information that the world government doesn't want anyone to know, and you have the Straw Hats who have the Vegapunks that the other two Vegapunks. They have access to them, so they are supposed to have access to certain knowledge that they wouldn't have access to otherwise. So, like whatever Stella was going to say, others probably know about that because that's what half of them are doing. Unless you don't know what Stella was about to say, I think that's highly likely. So we're gonna have to deal with that somehow. But I don't think they're gonna actually say anything to the Straw Hats. And the giant ship, giants are ready to leave. Everyone's aboard. Luffy's on board. So the only thing we're waiting on now is from Sunny. So Luffy's upping aboard. Then I'm up. Dory and Buggy are jumping aboard. So everyone who's supposed to be on the giant ship is on. And the only thing we're waiting on now is the Sunny to put a burst of the Egghead onto the actual giant ship, and we're gonna sail away from there. And Bunny also turned the Vice Admiral into children, and the whole hag isn't a old hag anymore, and she actually looks okay, back in her younger days. Luffy's now reuniting with Imo and Kashi after I really can't remember when last we saw these guys. And when last Luffy saw these guys. So it's actually been a while. I think it's over 10 years in real world actually. It's supposed to be a lot longer than actually. So it's been a while, and they're finally reuniting after such a long time. And Usopp isn't here though. So Edison, yes, I was wrong about Pythagoras earlier. I keep getting these names mixed up. So Edison is actually gone now, and he ain't coming back. So we have two Vegapunks, and we have Sanji who's simping over ladies as usual. No, until the last part is actually because of a bit of controversy. The last part of the chapter which I'll get into later. Now I have Bird Guy, I can't remember his names. So the five elders let's see, I have Hercule, Venus. Okay, I have no idea who this is. You have Mercury, Venus, Miss Mercury, no, not Mercury. Anyways, you have the Bird Guy. Yes, the Bird Guy. I'm gonna just call him Bird Guy from here on out. You have Bird Guy heading towards the Straw Hat ship. You have Luffy is actually eating a giant piece of meat after to regain some energy. We have the giants who are, surprised about Luffy's endless appetite. And Bird Guy actually have fire powers, which I think we knew. I'm not sure if we actually knew this before. But he has fire powers, and the giants are trying to block him over the ship's on fire. So they need to get rid of the flames here. And so again, you have the Marines are surprised at the five elders. They don't know that's five elders, and so they're surprised at these monsters that they're seeing and wondering where they came from because the Father Marines have absolutely no idea who they're working for or anything. They have no idea how the world is actually ran, as I said before. And so once they find out, I think this is going to cause a certain divide among the Marines because that's what's happening later with all the information that Vegapunk is releasing to the world, and the fact that they're working for these yokai monster things. This is going to cause a divide among the Marine because a lot of them think they are justice and that they're fighting against the evil, and they're actually working for the evil people. Well, they're working for the world government. The Marine itself is gonna be corrupt, but it isn't exactly an evil organization. So they're gonna find that they're working for the world government, that they're working for is evil, and some of them are gonna probably gonna resign or join a different faction like the Revolutionary Army. Some of them are just gonna keep working because uh, they're gonna think it's better to work for the world government than whatever the alternative is. So they're gonna have a divide among the Marines I think after this arc. And so hmm, um okay, and so after the attack, we have the the sea shaking, the ship shaking. And some people think it's an earthquake, but looks like it's the power of Luffy transforming. And after he just finished eating. And so some people are saying there's no way that this is true because a lot of people didn't actually believe Vegapunk. Some people didn't believe Vegapunk message. And so Luffy transforms into Gear 5 and he's talking to Bunny, and Bunny says, "Wow, Nika." And Luffy again says, "I have no idea what you're talking about." So Luffy is still ignorant to the fact that he's Joy Boy or Nika. And so you have the drums of liberation and giants dancing to the drums of liberation, to Luffy's heartbeat, and Dory and Buggy are having a banter because they're dancing and getting each other's way. And so Luffy, this is the part of the chapter that's been a bit controversial online. So you have Luffy inviting Bonnie to come and fight with him, and one says she can't keep up with him in that form, and Luffy says, "Of course she can. He doesn't really know about her powers. Her powers work, but he's sure she got this." And Bond says, "Oh, that's all. I no, that's not Bunny. That's a flashback, and where he's saying, oh, that's how I look when I'm totally free." And Bond says, "Distorted future. Give me a future where I'm totally free." And have a flashback in the background of Kuma saying, "You can rest now, Ginny." And it's real reason well. And not Ginny, Bunny turns into Gear 5. Like, they have the ear and everything. You have the white clouds, white you have the white clouds, you have the stretchy powers. Both of them are now giant. They turn giant because of the rover parcel. And Luffy's laughing and saying, "That's the spirit." And she's like, Bunny says, "Yeah." Now, before I get on to the rest of the chapter, the ending of the chapter, this is what a lot of people have been arguing about. Or this is a bit controversial, but I don't know how people didn't see this coming because this was bound to happen. And some people say this isn't just come out of nowhere. Like this again, this was bound to happen. You have earlier in the arc where so you have early in the arc where Bonnie showed distorted future for the first time, where she became a buccaneer, and she also used Nika powers. She also used Gear 5 powers, not Gear 5, Nika powers back in her past, and that was before she. That was before she actually knew what Nika actually looked like. So she was going off her imagination, and all the information she had at that moment. And I think this makes perfect sense, especially for Bonnie, because now she's actually all her life she's been confined to a certain area. She hasn't been allowed to be free. Um, she's looked up to Nika as a symbol of freedom, a symbol of hope, and so that's what being free was to her. Nika was the symbol of freedom. I know that she sees Luffy as Nika, the actual Nika. Now she has that's what ideal freedom is to her, because that's what Nika is. That's what ideal freedom is to her. So when she's saying "Give me a future, I'm totally free," that's what total freedom looks like to Bunny. What Luffy is doing, that's total freedom to Bunny, because that's what she idolized and looked up to growing up. That's what Kuma taught her. So when she says "Give me a future, that's totally free," that's what that's the result of that. And some people are saying that this makes no sense because now Bunny can basically walk up to Kaido and say, you know, give me a future. I'm the strongest creature alive. I don't think that's possible. I think there are certain limitations to the devil fruit, and we've never seen Bunny actually copy devil fruit ability, actual devil fruit ability like a Paramecia. All the future everything she's done so far is like related to her race or something. Like I'm not sure exactly how that works, but our race or a certain person, for example, in the future where she was free, she associates freedom with I say it's freedom with Nika, so that's why she turns into Nika here. And she also turned into a Buccaneer, which is a race, and she turned into a giant, which is again a race. I thought that would be more of distorted past with distorted future. Um, distorted past sounds more fitting to me. Anyways, distorted future, and so everything she's turned into so far is the kind of a person or a race. I don't think she's turned into. I think she can like copy a Logi or something like that. And you have to remember she also isn't very proficient in Haki at the moment, so she's not gonna be able to like walk up to Kaido, turn into a dragon, and then beat his ass or anything like that. So, but I actually like Gear 5 Bunny. And we have that looks like Warcry says, I sense something amiss. You must hurry. Because he's sensing Bunny and Luffy, so something is tight here. Also look like Bunny has the drums of liberation as well, so it looks like we have two drums of liberation. And down in the last part of the panel, we have the Iron Giant. We aren't getting to that yet. We have the giants who are marveling at Luffy and Bunny. We're saying, wow, two Nikas, because, Bunny turned into Nika. And they become albino giants because they're white now. We have Bird Guy who's looking at them shocked. And Luffy says, let's do this. As they're about to fight the Bird Guy. Again, I keep forgetting his name. Bird Guy next chapter. And then we have the final part. We have there you are. It looks like the Iron Giant is saying, and we have two warriors running amok. And I'm not sure if we'll have a break next week, but that's the end of the chapter. And again, I really enjoyed the chapter, and I can't wait until the next chapter to find out what exactly is going on. But as for Bonnie turning into Nika, you've already heard my thoughts. I actually like where this is going. I think it's gonna be a fun next chapter. I don't think like Bonnie can actually distort her future to turn into anything she wants. There are gonna be certain limitations, however, we don't know what those limitations are as yet. I think turning into Nika makes perfect sense for Bunny's story, especially since that Nika's what she's been looking up to all this time, and we've seen her transform into her version of Nika, what she thought Nika was before, and we've seen her use like Gear 3 or third gear, before because that's what she thought Nika was. But now that she sees Luffy being free and she heard Luffy say, "This is how I look like when I'm most free." That's what she associates with freedom. And so that's why she turned into Nika when she said, "Give me a future where I'm most free," because that's what she associates with freedom. And yeah, so can't wait until next chapter. See you next week. Bye. Oh wait, before the chapter ends, before this video ends, I something I just remembered. So we have to remember that the person who gave Bonnie her fruit was Saturn. Wait, I think he gave Ginny because he was doing some experiments. So Saturn's the one responsible for Bonnie's devil fruit, and some people are wondering why Saturn would give something this powerful to a slave, and like why would he give something like this? Because this is like an advanced version of the devil fruit that Saturn was working on. So why would he do this? And it looks like he was working on an experiment and he wasn't actually intending for things to go like this. I don't know, but I think that's actually quite interesting.